Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Twisted Life and TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review of the Handmaid's Tale. This season 4, episode 8, Testimony. Oh, we open up with the Isaac Hayes sample, Walk On By. I don't even remember the song that was playing, although I did like the lyrics in it, but all I knew that Isaac Hayes, they sampled his song. I think Walk On By is one of the most sampled songs ever, you know. June was cutting off her hair. Finally coming out of that damn bun, freeing herself. You know how we do. We break up with somebody, we cut our hair, we change our mattress, we get a new look. Yeah, June is breaking up with Gilead, and so she's cutting all her hair off. Really blunt cut. I feel sorry for that damn hair. I was like, girl, you in Canada now. Great Clips is open. Run up there. Get yourself done. Before I really get into this recap, because this is not going to be like a full review, I'm pretty much going to recap most of it. I've been in a headspace, y'all. My birthday was yesterday. Hey, my birthday was yesterday, so I was like just completely lazy, and I didn't do much. But I watched this episode Wednesday night, with the intent to put it up Wednesday night, and it didn't happen because it took me so long to get through the episode. I started watching it at 2 p.m. It was 1 a.m. So Thursday morning when I stopped watching this episode. I don't know what it is. I think they're trying to piss me off. I really think they're trying to piss me off, me personally, with all the fucking close-ups on Elizabeth Moss's face. We start off with her face in the camera. We end up with her face in the camera, and she always got that bewitching look. Y'all, I stopped watching some YouTubers because I can't stand the look of their face. I'm like that. I'm shallow. I'm judgmental. I am. It's really annoying me to keep looking at Elizabeth Moss's face. I don't even find the woman attractive, mildly attractive, and so that's making it worse. No, even with makeup, she's an unattractive woman to me. But that's me. Y'all may think differently. But anywho, we had a support group of escaped handmaids. At first, I thought these were the Marthas that was from the Angel Flight, because how many of them there was there? It was 9 people. There 9 Marthas that got away on the flight, and then there was 9 people sitting there with Moira, June, and Emily. But come to find out later on, it was revealed that all of these people were indeed handmaids. The one named Tyler, she had a lot to say. Tyler was speaking of an incident in which she felt relief under the commander's watch. Moira was saying, well, you know what? You here now. You're free and all that. And she like, yeah, but he free too. Okay? At least June gets to face hers in court. Well, another one chimed in and said, well, I don't know how June could do it. I just don't know. I mean, I don't think that I could. I don't think I could ever face them. And Moira chimed in again. Well, it's just a confirmation hearing. She don't even have to be there. Ain't nothing wrong with a written statement. And then I think it was Emily that said, no, she wants to face them. And I was thinking, why isn't June speaking for herself? Everybody is talking like she's not in the room. She was very empowered last episode, and now it seems that maybe she's retreated emotionally, but no, that ain't what was happening. We get that zoom close-up of her face. Annoying. Guess she must be intentionally telling the directors to do that. I know she directs it too sometimes, but she does this in everything she plays in. Every other movie I've seen her in, she does that same doggone shot. Like it's written in her freaking contract or something. 15 times a freaking episode. June tells them, look here, I ain't worried about going to court. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm made for this right here. I ain't got to worry about nothing. And I was like, I wonder if Tuello has been, or her lawyer has been prepping her. Like, how is she so certain she's so ready for court? You know what I'm saying? Well, the confirmation hearing. Somebody asked in the last video if June was such a high priority refugee, where is her security? First of all, who are the other high priority refugees? Let's ask that question. But where is June's security? Well, ask and you shall receive. This episode, June has security. She ain't had none since she been there. But now, since the hearing is approaching, she has security telling her around. Somebody also brought up in the last video that June is giving off the vibe that she is better than the other women. And I agree. At least she thinks she's stronger than the other one, mentally and possibly physically as well. Which is why the rape scene with Luke happened. I honestly don't think that had anything to do with Luke. It was about June having power and taking control. She needed to prove to herself that she was not like the rest of them women, that she wasn't weak. Because remember, they were sitting there talking about how they couldn't perform sexually, and June was like, "No, that ain't gonna be about me." And her first attempt was a failed attempt, so the next time she became the aggressor. And she wasn't gonna be scared of sex. That's pretty much what it was. She wasn't gonna show any fear. And with these commanders, with Fred, the Waterfords, she's not gonna show forgiveness either. She said she can't even relate to the women that's in this room. And I was like, June, how quickly did we forget that not too long ago, you were these women. Mentally as well. Okay, remember you thought you had a friend in Serena? You thought you had a friend in Fred too, matter of fact. Remember that? I remember Scrabble night. Y'all should sit up there and drink your little brandy wine and everything. I remember that. You thought you had a friend. You even thought you had a friend in Aunt Lydia for a moment. Because I remember screaming at the camera, I will not be friends with my oppressor. I remember talking about that. You thought you had won some favor with these people. This is the reason why you hate them so much, because you hate yourself for giving into them. You hate yourself for being these women sitting in this room. Okay? You thought that in some regard that you were special, June. Okay? Until you weren't. Until you weren't. But June says that she's confused on why they aren't as angry as she is. And June is pissed off at the fact that they aren't as angry as she is. Well, after the meeting, some woman ran up on Emily, begging her for a conversation. Emily's like, no, get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. You know, I was like, is this her mama? Who's this? You know what I'm saying? Have we ever heard the backstory of Emily's parents? And I was really confused or curious about who this woman was. Moira, June security, and tough ass June, they confronted the woman. June got in her face like, leave and get the hell out now, okay? But before she left, though, she tried to give her contact information over to Emily. Emily is like, I don't want that. I don't want no parts of this lady. She bounced, right? She don't want to share who this person was, because June kept asking, who the hell was that? And she was like, look, I ain't finna worry about that. I'm gone, right? So after they left out, June picked up the contact information because it was dropped on the floor. The evil and rage that came across her face was disturbing to me. I was like, what the fuck is she thinking? What the fuck is she finna do? Is she about to go to this woman's house and take out aggression against her, not knowing fully what the fuck the whole situation is about? June, why are you so angry? Okay, you don't even know who this person is to Emily. You don't even know why she reacted the way she did. And Emily don't want to share, okay? So I was gathering that she's going to bring this lady, or bring her reckless nature to this lady. That's what I was guessing at this point. And I was like, Emily don't need saving, June. Emily don't need saving. Anyway, they at the house having dinner. Emily there is invited. And June is just staring Emily down. Everybody else around having a conversation, eating good, talking about, you know, what happened through their day. And June is just sitting there looking at Emily like this. Then all of a sudden, she just speak. Who is she? And I'm like, Emily, what happened to you, boo? You used to be a badass. I know you're not going to let June intimidate you into sharing something that you're not willing to share, okay? I was going to be so sorely disappointed, which I ended up being, okay? She gave in to June's pressure later on. June just like blurts out, who is she? Who is Iris Baker? What the fuck did I just knock down? I don't know what I just knocked down. was just like, damn. What did he roll or something? I don't know what I like that. Oh, okay. Oh, well. Anyway, she's like, who was Iris Baker? Emily didn't know who Iris Baker was. She knew her by a different name. And she told her, what the different name was and who this lady was. It turned out that Iris Baker and her mama, but a former aunt. And not the one that's related to her mama or daddy. An aunt of Gilead. I was like, is she one of them high-profile refugees that we was asking about? The Twillo mentioned? Who is she, right? You got an aunt here. And she should be able to give you a whole lot of information about Gilead, okay? She was an overseer. Y'all should be able to drill her. Why is she not testifying against Gilead? Or maybe she is and we just didn't know, right? But then June just started interrogating Emily. Who is she? What she want? Da-da-da, da-da-da. Emily like, I don't know. She was feeling hard pressed, right? Moira was like, it don't even matter. She said she don't want to talk to the woman. She hurt you, didn't she? Like, why would you say that? That's what Luke said too. Why would you even say that, June? Because she was an aunt, okay? Well, you don't have to make her say it. If you already know she's an aunt, and you already know what an aunt is capable of, why does Emily saying it matter to you? I'm only trying to help you. No, June, you're trying to help yourself. You're trying to help yourself, right? You're trying to convince Emily to get mad so she can hurt her because you're still hurting. Hurt people, okay? She's trying to force Emily to face Iris because it'll make June feel better. Luke and Moira were sitting over there like, hey, back off, calm down. But Emily like, no, we not all like you, June. We not all like you. And June was like, it gave her like a bit of satisfaction. She gave this look like saying, you damn right you not like me. I am above you. That's the look that she gave her. Like, I am the shit, bitch. Okay. Every ill thought that I've had about June up until this point has been seething out more and more each episode, right? I am saddened. I am actually saddened to watch her on screen at times, right? My compassion for this character is dwindling day by day. And I read your comments, the ones who will still support, the ones who have reason to still back her. And I just can't relate. I don't know what it is. I'm just like, I cannot stand June. My compassion for her is gone. I understand she's been through a trauma. Nobody should ever have to go through no shit like that. Ever. But damn, girl. Okay. Honestly, I would feel like if somebody completely came out of their shell and decided, yes, it's time for me to get revenge, and I don't know, no. I don't know, because that's what June has done. June is cracked. She didn't just come out the shell. She's cracked. I don't know. I think because mainly I have felt that what we're seeing in June has always been there. I think, who was that? I think Vinyl Collector. She was saying that she don't see, no, that wasn't Vinyl Collectors. I was talking to my friends on Facebook, and my friend Canby was saying that she didn't think that June could have been a commander's wife. And I was like, I see the parallels between her and Serena Joy. I see the parallels between her and Aunt Lydia. So I can see it, what I'm saying? I forgot I'm having this discussion on Facebook too. We started like a little Facebook group with some of my friends who watch the show, and we just be all on my page talking about it. Anyway, after dinner, Luke questioned her about Iris, like, who is she? Like, where she come from? She must have been a piece of work, right? And June says, she ain't got nothing on Aunt Lydia. How do you know? How do you know? Okay. And every time I think about that, I was thinking Aunt Lydia could have been dead, because Emily could have killed her already, but June, you stopped her. And so he like, anywho, if Emily wanted to tell you, she would, you know. And June said, yeah, apparently so. Okay. June is gonna make Emily talk. Watch. She's gonna make Emily talk. Well, they got on to the hearing, the trial. Luke wants to be there. June doesn't want him there for fear of him hearing what happened to her, and him possibly walking away with a new view of who she is as a person. And I'm asking myself, is this more to do with her expressing feelings about Nick? Are they going to touch on that? Because I honestly don't think that you really care what Luke think about you, June. I really don't think that you care, not one iota. I just don't. He told Tuello about Hannah at the lake house being the last place that June saw him. June got pissed. Like, why the hell did you tell him that? I wasn't ready for him to know that yet. Because it's valuable information, June. This is something that could help us find her. You know what I'm saying? June wanted this to be a little secret, though. Like, why? I need an explanation. You wanted to save her, right? When Moira told you to come back to Canada, that was one of the things that Moira was saying. We could use the government to help us get to her. So why wouldn't you want to share that information? Please explain. If y'all understand, y'all drop it in the comment section, because June never told us why she didn't want him to know. Well, we get none, like I said, from June. We get no explanation. And Luke seems to be at his wit's end. And based off of the conversation that he was having with Moira, it sounds like the rape is still happening. Because he said something along the lines, you know, I try to talk to her. We try to talk about Hannah. And then the bedroom, that doesn't make it seem like it got better to me. You know what I'm saying? Moira was like, you know what, you just got to be patient with her. And then Moira looked like she had like a little bit of fear about what he said and in the bedroom. But she's like, you just got to be patient. Like, you don't know what she's been through. And he's like, well, maybe that's the problem. I don't know. I can't, I don't know how to be around her if I don't know what I'm dealing with, is what he's trying to say. You know, I think in another way, he's trying to say, how can he be understanding if he doesn't know? If he doesn't feel what she feels. I mean, you can still be compassionate and understanding to a person if you haven't been through what they've been through. But I understand not wanting to be just shut off, closed off. Like, I'm your husband. I'm still here for you. You know, I need you to open up and let me in. I understand that. So anyway, but sometimes, Luke, you just have to be present. That's pretty much what Moira is trying to say. And, you know, the problem that I have, though, with their relationship is June's trauma is now becoming Luke's trauma. And how much he's going to be willing to take before he breaks, I don't know. Man, me coming from a household, or I can't even say household because it wasn't necessarily in my house all the time, but dealing with parents who are drug addicts and that was alcoholics at the same time, you know, constantly accepting trauma from them or pain or hurt from them because you are understanding of their trauma, their sickness, their illness, their pains, or whatever, because you are compassionate, trying to be compassionate, understanding, and be there for them, be there and support them. Sometimes you end up hurting yourself in that process. Speaking of that, if you want to join my live stream tomorrow night at midnight, or 11:59 p.m., I'm going to have a live stream discussion. It's called I Need Therapy. If y'all didn't know, I'm in therapy. But I haven't been in like a year and a half due to a C19. So I'm going to host a therapy session. I'm not a licensed, trained doctor, therapist, or psychologist. This is just going to be us talking openly. And we're going to be talking about vampires, is what I like to call them. Family members that drain you. So just, you know, to piggyback off of the fact that Luke dealing with trauma and accepting the trauma, trying to understand it. Yeah, we're going to have that discussion. So if you want to join us tomorrow night, midnight, on this channel, be a live stream, and hope the people you can participate instead of just sitting in and listening. All right, anyway, they are really fast forwarding through Serena's pregnancy. Like, she's about 7 months, it looks like 7 or 8 months now. And like I say, I know we beat this topic like a dead horse, but I cannot get over these detainees still coming and going in each other's cell with ease, without escort. Serena beckons Fred, Fred comes running. They even going over testimony together. Testimony that, against them, right? There's no lawyer present. They have it in their hands. Serena even said that she was allowed to watch the video of Fred's testimony, which makes no sense to me, unless they were using that video in her defense. So, anyway, Serena apparently has not been to trial with Fred. They're supposed to be a united front, but Serena is keeping her distance. And I was like, Fred, you got played, right? You know what I'm saying? Serena is only trying to help herself. She's only trying to help herself. Fred said, oh, you scared to face June, huh? Well, he just pulled her punk card, because she don't like to be thought as, beneath June. Okay, fine, I'm going to court. I will be there tomorrow. And he said, cool. Where that Teal, girl? Where that Teal? Anyway, we go back to Aunt Lydia, finally, in Gilead. The girls, the new ones, are there scrubbing the chapel, and they don't really seem to be listening much to Aunt Lydia. She's walking through and she's talking, but nobody's really responding. Heck, the other aunts in there, Aunt Ruth, they in there making fun of Aunt Lydia, baby. And she come up to them like, hey girls, gossip is of the devil, okay? And they start mocking her like, no, we just blessed that you're back here with us, right? She said, oh, really? They laughed at her face, y'all. Laughed at Lydia's face. Lydia looked like she was ready to buck them. Nuck if you buck. But instead, she took it out on the other handmaid. I think it was Kylie or something like that. With the damn cattle prod. The cattle prod that June should have took with her. She probably got another one still. The aunt tried to intervene, to get Aunt Lydia off the young lady with the cattle prod. Aunt Lydia turned and tagged her ass too. And she's like, now say something else. At least that's the look that she gave her. Look down at her like, say something. Okay. And then she walked out. But on Lydia, you could see the shame and the guilt that was on her face. There's still the pity and the rage lives there too, but you can still see all of that going through her face. Now, I was happy as hell that Aunt Lydia stuck Aunt Ruth with that fucking doggone cattle prod. I really was. And I was happy as hell to see Aunt Ruth and them shading the hell out of Aunt Lydia. I just got joy from both sides, right? Anyway, it's hearing day. June shows up in court. Serena looking good as fucking that damn Teal. I'm telling you, looking like brand new money, baby. In that tight mun, she just, I don't know what anyway. Fred was looking mighty confident himself, a little dapper. June comes in dressed like she's attending a fucking funeral. And then in walks Luke. I was hoping he was going to show up. I'm so glad that Luke showed up. June, she just looked like he came. A little bit annoyed, but he came. That's the look she gave. So anyway, June did clear it up for us. I think we discussed this before, whether or not what posting this was for June. This was her second posting. During the whole testimony, they kept calling the baby Nicole. Oh gosh. That's all I kept hearing is Nicole. And I kept saying, that ain't her fucking name. Just like Serena wanted Fred to use your real name, June Osborne, to appeal to the court, use Holly's real name, June. It ain't Nicole. Fuck, call her Jelly Bean if you want to. At first, I was confused a little bit about her story because she kind of left out some key moments in D.C. But when she started explaining what happened with Fred and Serena reading the book to the kids and stuff like that, again, she made Serena look like Fred's victim. Especially when she spoke of him cutting her finger off. She made Serena look like, why you bring that point up? You left out so much. Why bring that point up? Why even Y'all, I'm saying it was hard for me to watch this episode. Because they kept focusing on her face. Now, this portion of the trial was all about Fred. I was like, okay, so when does Serena get her turn? When is June gonna testify against Serena again? Because she really bring Fred down. That's pretty much the whole thing about this. Bring Fred down. A dog is barking. Y'all gonna have that in there because I'm not editing nothing out. Okay. Well, the defense pulls of Kanye West said that June chose to be a slave. She chose this life. And just like, Kanye said that black people chose slavery. And what the defense was saying, you had a choice to be a handmaid or go to the colonies. You chose to be a handmaid. You could have chose death. You know what Thomas Jefferson say? Give me liberty or give me death. You know, you chose to stay liberated somewhat as a handmaid. So, but honestly, that's not a fucking choice. I'm choosing death and death, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm alive, just because I'm not dead, don't mean I'm alive. Put it that way. Okay. So Fred said, you know what? Everything was for the good. You know what I'm saying? And because of what they're doing in Gilead, they have been blessed. The birth rate is climbing in Gilead. Ain't nowhere else in the world like that. Then they let him stand up to June and literally walk up to her. Where they do that at? He came from behind the table. She stepped down off the podium. Nobody protested. Security didn't step in. Nobody intervened. You had a few people saying, wait, get your client. Wait. Hey, make him calm down. That's all. That's all they said. She wasn't even dismissed from the court. Fred said, look, I've been good to you. I even gave you an opportunity to see your daughter. But you ain't tell him that, though. You ain't tell him that. You know what I'm saying? Tell him about Scrabble night. You know what I'm saying? You ain't tell him that. You know what I'm saying? Why is my fucking dog barking? Every time. I don't know. Somebody out there. I just can't see him. All my street lights on this block is blown out. I don't know what it is. Anyway, June got frustrated and said, I'm done, to Fred, and walked out. She didn't address the court. She wasn't dismissed. The gavel wasn't thrown down. She walked the hell out. Well, Fred and Serena, to me, they getting off. They getting off. You cannot make me believe at this point that they won't, especially Serena. If Fred don't walk, Serena is. And anyway, speaking of confusion, Commander Joy back there with Aunt Lydia. We've all said this before. Commander Joy is too timing, sometiming. It's not that he wants to tear down Gilead. He wants to run it the way that he wants it to be run. You know what I'm saying? He wants Aunt Lydia to get back to her old self and handle the fugitive handmaid that they caught in Gilead. Janine. Y'all were right. Janine is alive. What we were not correct about was who found her. Apparently, the soldiers of Gilead did. She's back in Boston now. Careful what you ask for, Janine. Careful what you ask for. Aunt Lydia is shocked. You know, like my Janine, she is back. That's my baby. Joey, Commander Joey, he tells her, you know, I know you get a kick out of inflicted pain, you know what I'm saying, but you need another outlet. Do what you want to do with Janine, you know what I'm saying? And speaking of back, June comes back to the group and brings Iris with her. I told y'all she's going to force Emily to confront this woman. June is the definition of what a Karen is. If anybody's ever been confused about what a Karen is, if anybody has been offended that people call you a Karen, this is why. Karen are people, and mainly white women, who imposes their wants and needs on other people. They make stuff right even when it's wrong in their points of view. So if you've ever been called a Karen, think about what you just said or did and ask yourself, why would somebody call me that? It's not just because you're white. It's your actions that make you a Karen. This right here, this some Karen shit right here that June just did by pulling that woman in there and then gonna sit there and lie and say she was just hanging outside the door. I know that was a lie just because of the following conversation that happened later, right? June knew too much about the woman, about how she got into the country. Where you learn that at? You just found her outside the door. Bullshit. Bullshit. Anyway, Emily is stunned. And the way the writers are writing this, they're going to try to magnify June. Like, they're going to make Emily say it's okay. And that's exactly what they did. June is right. Moira feel like me. You have no right to bring that woman here. June says, no, I'm trying to help Emily. I'm trying to help her. She already told you that she didn't want to talk to her. Okay? But you insisted that she come anyway. You say she welcome. You have now trying to take over Moira's support group, right? So June pushed the ladies' chair to the center of the room. It's the circle of shame. And I just felt that this was nothing to do with Emily. It's all about June and June being in control. So this is our group. I'm saying, last session, June, you said that you weren't even a part of these people. You couldn't relate to none of them. All of a sudden, it's our group trying to make everybody feel like they're one with you. That's what Commander Joey said. June gets people to like her because she manipulates them to believe that she's nice and kind and that she's there for them. And that's exactly what she's doing. She's manipulating these women, and they falling for it. She gets her way because people like her. Manipulation at its finest. This wasn't come join our group. This was an interrogation, right? June is putting Emily's story out there. You know, she wasn't willing to share it herself. Nobody knew that Emily had been mutilated until June said it. And where's Emily's voice when she didn't, like, when did she become so mild-natured? Why is she not speaking up for herself? Iris got down on her knees and begged for forgiveness from her. And June kept interjecting. This was a violation of Emily, June, but, you know, anyway, you've been violating Luke. I guess you could violate Emily too. She was satisfied. She was so satisfied that she was able to humiliate Iris. I mean, I really didn't have much compassion for Iris myself, but let that be Emily's decision. What you need, babe? Oh, is it the dog? Hold on. My dog is out here acting crazy, y'all. What you need? What is it that you need? Do you need to go outside? You gotta go poop? Why are you down there barking? Well, go back out. Go back out, please. So I finish the video. No, out the door. You stink, too. Did you pass gas in here? I'll be out in a second. Stay there. Sit. Okay. I'm almost done. Oh, I only got that much time left. Anyway, June knew how the lady crossed the border, that she snuck in. I was like, she had a full-fledged conversation with her to know all this. June brought that lady to this meeting. And it's funny how she can't talk to Luke, but she could talk for Emily, you know what I'm saying, against her will. She was even about to force herself on Luke again, remember? I just can't stand this character. So, give me a second, y'all. So, Janine, she's back in Aunt Lydia's care, and Aunt Lydia's trying to convince her that June left her on purpose. And she's like, no, she wouldn't. Yes, she would. She's selfish like that. Janine said, no, she wouldn't do me like that. And Aunt Lydia said, she could have took you with her. She could have took you with her. She's done it before. She's taken you many times before. Why she couldn't take you this time? And it seemed that for a minute that she was kind of getting to Janine, but I think Janine's wheels were turning in a whole different direction, right? Janine said, you know what, whatever you do, just don't make me a handmaid again. You know what I'm saying? And when she said that, I don't remember which one of you said it. Oh my God, y'all been saying it almost every video. Y'all think that Janine is gonna go back and become an aunt. I'm like, oh God, please don't let that be true. I've been saying don't let that be true. Don't let that be true. But by her saying don't make me a handmaid, just don't make me a handmaid, that's the first thought I had, is that you have continuously said that Janine is gonna come back and be a doggone aunt. And that's not a spoiler, y'all. Trust me, that's not a spoiler. If you read the unless that's in the New Testament. I hope you weren't spoiling something from the New Testament book. All I know from the New Testament book is that it's 15 years after the first book, and season 1 was basically the first book. So it was 15 years after the first book. Is being told by Hannah and Holly, and then one other key person. I'm not gonna say who that other key person is because they may give too much away. So if you haven't read the New Testament, you know, you can probably go ahead and start reading now, you know, because we only got 2 more episodes in this season, and I'm hoping that when they come back with the next season, it's based off of the New Testament. I'm so sick of looking at June's face. I am. Anywho, I literally try to tell her, you know, not being a handmaid is foolish talk. This is God's will. You know what I'm saying? Janine said, whatever you got to do. I just don't want to be no damn handmaid no more. I'd rather die here. Don't let me be a handmaid no more. Aunt Lydia's like, girl, stop being so dramatic. You know, she took her in her arms and cradled her like a baby, hugged her tight. Janine on the other end of that hug looking like, I ain't falling for this bullshit this time. Ain't no love here. I ain't got no love for you. None at all. I'm not falling for your niceties this time around. The fruit is not blessed here, honey. It is very rotten. That's the look that Janine was giving her. Well, Emily feels, like I said, that June, she only trying to help. But, you know, what June did wasn't enough. So Moira suggests that she goes and talk to Iris for real, just one-on-one, convince her to testify against Gilead. She's an aunt after all, just like I was saying. She's an aunt after all. She has information. So I was like, okay, so based off of what June was saying, she's definitely not a high-profile refugee. They don't even know that she's there. So Emily decides, fine, I'm going to go out here and meet her. She's driving along this damn snow. Lord, y'all, I do not miss snow at all. It's beautiful to watch it on TV. I'm so glad I don't live in it no more. And she driving over. It snows like a motherfucker in Toronto. I'm just letting y'all know that. So Emily, she goes to meet the lady. It's too late. She has hung herself. Made her own wall and struck her up from, you know what I'm saying? Dead. Emily just turns her car around and drives the fuck off. Dust her shoulders off and keep moving. Well, it's another day of hearing for Fred. And Serena is jumping the fence, Fred. That's how she's feeling, you know what I'm saying? She's like, did you really believe what you said? And I was like, Fred, I see it. She about to jump fence on you. She seemed disgusted by your statements the other day. Or shocked. I'm not certain which one of those expressions, emotions that she was really feeling. But you just told her, you know, you believed your words. And she was like, okay. They don't sound like that when she believed you, Fred. It didn't. But when she steps outside, Fred said there was a protest, right? There are crowds of people out there shouting. Sound like they were cheering to me, not jeering. Okay, Fred is like, they heard us, baby. You know, the sounds of the crowd gave Serena a sense of calm, happiness. Okay, she took his hand, walked together, side by side, proudly, shoulders thrown back, head up. You know what I'm saying? Like what? People were screaming, shouting, and cheering her name. For Gilead. For Serena Joy. Blessed be the fruit that you carry in your belly. Ain't God good? That's what these people were out there saying. You know what I'm saying? They were jumping up and down with joy at the sight of both of them, especially pregnant Serena. Well, we go back inside the group. June has managed to turn forgiving souls into her. Even Emily. Moira is the only one looking around like, what the fuck is happening here, right? June's smug ass up there. Like, that's what I like to see. Her anger. Matter of fact, her exact words. There you go. There you go. It's like... Moira is like, you know, it's okay for us to express the pain. But we don't need to live there. We don't need to reside in it. June said, why not? Why can't we? Why we gotta heal? Who made that rule for us? Why we can't be as furious as we feel, okay? Moira tried to end the group session, but June, like I said, took over that group. She said, you know what? I'll stay if anybody else want to stay. They were shocked. They was, look, they were easily swayed. Easily swayed. They all said, I'm staying. I'm staying too. We're going to stay. We're going to stay. June has got allies now. To do what? Or y'all going to hunt down everybody that used to be a guardian or an aunt in Canada and kill them? Take them out? What y'all going to do? You going to mount up and go back into Boston? She getting her crew together. Trusted allies. That's what she doing. And I don't know if it was just me, but when she got home, I was praying that the locks on that door had been changed. I just was. This has been Luke and Moira's home for years. And Ken Dom asked, what happened to Aaron? You know, the one who didn't speak until she said, blessed be the Fruit Loops. That used to be her home too. She's not there no more. And I don't think they ever explained what happened to her. But this just has been Luke and Moira's home, and now they want it to be June's home too, and June has basically taken over. They probably scared to say something, scared to walk on eggshells around us. They might put her out. You know what I'm saying? But no, she got in. She got in. She went up the stairs. Luke was sitting up there waiting on her. Look like he had been crying. I was looking around the room to see if his bags had been packed. No, he wouldn't. So now, at this moment, she decides that she wants to tell him about the last time she really saw Hannah, for real. I didn't understand why at that moment she really wanted to tell him what happened. Maybe, like I said, maybe she got her crew together. Maybe they ready to go back and fight. They ready to go back in and cause some havoc for Boston. You know, she got them all fired up and ready to go. June needs some more people that's going to be willing to die for her. Because everything that June touches turns to shit. At least the people around her. So I guess if she, tells Luke what happened to Hannah the last time they seen her, then he'll get mad enough too. That's the only reason I can see, only explanation I could get of why she wants to tell him about that last time. But like I said, y'all, we only got 2 episodes left, and June has drained me completely. Whew. But like I said, if y'all want to know find out what happens to Hannah and Holly, y'all should pick up the second novel, The Testament. This is not a sponsored video. I'm just saying. That's it. That's all I'm gonna give you. Leave your comments down in the comment section. I appreciate y'all being here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.